What's up, everybody? Thanks so much for joining me. This is the first time finding my channel. I'm Ashley. I am on a 365-day keto journey, and I've just recently discovered water fasting. I have done keto for almost the last 2 years, and now, this is a brand new chapter for me. I've done it for the past week. I'm doing 5-day water fast and 2 days keto OMAD most of the time, but I've been pretty bad here the last couple of times. So my goal is to stay completely keto for at least a year. So from January 1st to January 1st. My channel is all about my own personal weight loss journey, different things that I experience along the way, different tips and tricks for those people starting the ketogenic diet. I am a ketogenic nutrition specialist. I am a keto coach. I do have a website, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook group for beginners, which is the Keto Saga Begins. I want you guys to be super comfortable with me because I love bringing my research to you guys, and I love hearing about your stories and your experiences during your own personal weight loss journey. So if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel so I can get to know you, you can get to know me, and we can really support each other. So you can also click that little bell icon next to the subscribe button if you want to get notifications that I am uploading a video. So today, how to get started on keto. This is the #1 question anywhere, and I think there's about 8 billion answers out there, but this one is going to be me and what I recommend to my clients as well as my members of my group. The very first thing is get to know what keto is and what it's not. It is not low carb, and that is where a misconception is. Even Jillian Michaels, she was like, oh, way back when it was called Atkins. Okay, it's not Atkins. It is a low carb diet, but it's not just a low carb diet. Keto focuses on lowering your insulin levels as well as your inflammation. It focuses on ingredients. It focuses on high fat, so 70% fat, 25% protein, and 5% carbohydrates, or 20 net carbs. Now, that the biggest thing I think that the difference of keto is that it focuses on the root cause of weight gain and all of these different PCOS and inflammation and diabetes and autoimmune diseases. It focuses really on the root, so what's on the inside, rather than just being a band-aid for the symptoms and the effects of all of those things, which is weight gain and blood sugar issues, insulin issues, inflammation, all kinds of different things. So keto really focuses on the cause of all of that, and it fixes it. Now, everybody is different, and not all diets are going to fit everybody exactly the same. Yes, it is almost like paleo, except for paleo incorporates fruit, and keto stays away from most fruit except berries because of the insulin effect on your system when you eat fruit and the natural sugars in the fruit. You want to find out what your own personal macros are, and that's going to be your daily amount of your fat, your protein, and your carbohydrates. Now, like I said, carbohydrates should be 20 grams net. Okay, and I'm going to post the link for a keto calculator down below. You guys can use that. That's the one we recommend, and that is I think the most reliable one. You can go through a tracking app and calculate your macros through that, but it's not really that accurate. That's just based on experience and through what our members have been reporting. So go ahead and click on the macro calculator that I post down below if you want to find out your own personal macros. Set the net carbs to 20 grams net. Okay, so that being said, once you have calculated your macros, what you want to do is you want to find a tracking app. Now, I personally use Carb Manager. There are a bazillion out there. Find one that works for you. The easiest one for me to suggest is Carb Manager, just because I know how. So next up, after you have your tracking app, you are going to track everything you eat. It's really that simple. If you, let's say, make a salad, okay? You're going to be tracking, and this is a beautiful thing about the tracking apps, is that they have a database and people input different things. The pro, that's the pro, that people have already inputted, you know, iceberg lettuce or mushrooms or tomatoes or whatever. They've already inputted it, so you have to do a select it from a list. The con to that is people have already inputted it, so they could have inputted anything. So that's kind of where you need to weigh, you know, what is true and what's not. You can also double check your package. Here is my coconut oil. Hopefully it's in focus. You're going to, not so much the calories, but you're going to be tracking the macros. So you're going to do the total fat, you're going to do carbohydrates, you're going to do the protein. Those are the ones that you're going to track. So in your tracking app, you would select, you know, Kroger pure coconut oil. And then if the numbers match up, you can double check. You're going to select how much of that you used. Okay. So again, back to the salad. If you were going to make a salad, you would input, say, 2 cups of lettuce. You would input, you know, half a tomato. You would input 3 ounces of mushrooms, or a 1/4 a cup of cheese, or whatever dressing you used. That's how you would start tracking your macros for the day. As you do this through the tracking app, it's going to start subtracting from your daily allowances so you can see how much you have left. My personal recommendation for you guys is to track before you eat. That way you can make any necessary adjustments. That's one of the most common things I see with members. They get frustrated because they eat everything and they track it, and then they all of a sudden they're like 20 or 30 grams of protein over or whatever. That's what you want to do. Track before you eat, and then you'll be able to make any necessary adjustments. So if you happen to track the salad that I just described and you were over, you know, 7 grams of protein, you would know to subtract something. You could play around with the numbers a little bit, and that's kind of how you learn how much you can have of each thing. Once you start doing that and you've actually added everything in Carb Manager, I know specifically, you can save it as a recipe. So the next time you make that exact salad, you can just select it from the recipes and you don't have to input all of those different ingredients, which is awesome. And so that's really the beginnings of the ketogenic diet. And once you have that down, you want to also familiarize yourself with the type of foods that you're going to be eating. Now, keto is very, very friendly. Okay, so you can have all kinds of different foods. It's very non-restrictive as far as the amount of food, except for you do want to stay within your macros. That's the only thing. You don't need to count calories, because if you do stay in your macros, you're going to have a caloric deficit anyway. But you do want to make sure that you stick to, you know, keto food. So don't go for the products, you guys. It's the easiest thing in the world just to pick up some low carb, you know, products, sugar-free candy, low carb bread or tortillas, or most of the products out there, even if they say keto, are not keto friendly. Because remember, keto incorporates the ingredients, and keto is really about getting back to the whole good nutrient dense foods that we were meant to be eating in the first place, not really products. So that's going to do it for this video. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. I do want to start doing lives in my keto beginning group. Again, the link for that is down below. And yeah, I'll be answering any questions you guys have. So thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next video.